psychology of disrespecting the laws of the land, disregard for the constitution, disrespect for the courts. And this is an affront on our judicial system. This is an affront on the democratic system we believe to practice. And this is an affront on the nation itself. In view of this, we have communicated to all social forces, and we are calling up all Nigerians, we are calling on all international communities to understand that we are currently under a government that has been hijacked by spineless entities whose intention is to torture, oppress, suppress Nigerians. And we shall take this no more. These people were unlawfully arrested and detained by DSS. We approached the court, and the court granted them bail under the law. The court granted them bail on conditions, and the conditions have been met. This also has been communicated to the state security services. But because of their arrogance, because of their utter disrespect for our law, they have refused to release all the detainees. The detainees have remained in a very bad situation, under torture on daily basis, sleeping on the floor. We are tired of this. In every democracy, it is very important that the Constitution is supreme. The Constitution is above every citizen. The Constitution is above every government agency. And our position is this, that the DSS must come to recognize that in a constitutional democracy, that the law is above every individual, and it does not matter how they feel. It does not matter their individual opinion about the person of Chief Sunday Igboho or about the person of the 12 detainees currently in their detention. We want to call on the DGDSS that this is a very serious warning. We want to call on the Nigerian Bar Association to wake up to its responsibility. There's a need for us to begin to hold accountable people who are trusted with position of authority. There's a need for us to begin to hold accountable people who are given responsibility to protect our constitution. DSS, police, and all that law enforcement agencies should first learn how to respect the law and show due regard to our law. These people have been granted bail, but the DSS has refused to release them for reasons best known to them. And we want to say this, beyond go proceeding with a contempt proceedings against the DSS, we are very, very sure and certain that Nigerians, particularly the Yoruba people who feel they have been oppressed under this government, will mobilize in no distant time for a very serious revolution, for a very serious protest to liberate Nigerians, to liberate this country from the hands of spineless entities who believe they can act the way they are. And that is the reason we've invited you all to this important press conference, to let the world understand that we are tired of acts by individuals who are privileged to be in position of authority, yet take the position of authority to oppress and suppress citizens. We are tired of the disdainful act of the DG of DSS. This is not the first time, for the record, that the DG DSS has demonstrated arrogant disrespect for our rule of law. This is not the first time that the DG SSS has shown utter disrespect for court order. There is no land where democracy is practiced that there is flagrant disregard for the law, flagrant disregard for the constitution, flagrant disregard for the court, and it appears nothing is happening. We are tired of this situation, and that is the reason we've invited service in the matter involving 12 detained associates of the Yoruba Nation activist, Chief Sunday Adeyemo, aka Igboho. In the wee hours of the 1st of July, you will recall, 2021, a joint team of the men of the State Security Service and the Nigerian military, with neither lawful cause nor a warrant of arrest, broke into the Ibadan home of Yoruba Nation activist, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, and extrajudicially murdered 2 of his associates, while rounding up, bonding, and abducting 12 others to be incarcerated without cause in the dungeons of the SSS, where they continue to languish without reprieve to this day. All 12 detainees, who were immediately subjected to degrading conditions of detention and torture, were denied access to their lawyers by the SSS up until the intervention of the court, through an order recognizing and re-emphasizing the detainees' right to legal representation against whatever allegation against them. Regrettably, and indeed unacceptably, while no charges in full or tentatively have been preferred against all the 12 detainees. The SSS have failed and refused to honor an order of court which granted bail to and ordered the release of all the 12 detainees upon the perfection of the terms of their bail, which have now been fully satisfied and duly communicated to the SSS. The refusal of the SSS to honor a clear order of court through habitual, and is not only worrisome but unacceptable, is an affront on the authority of the court and our entire judicial system. Such blatant disregard for and contemptuous, spiteful, and insolent disrespect of an order of court, if allowed to fester, would undermine the very integrity of the court and breed even new level of rascality by the state agents. It would also amount to surrendering the freedom and right of all the 12 detainees to the whims and caprices of all agencies that has gone rogue and strive in willful disobedience of court order. In the light of this, we are giving the State Security Service, particularly its Director General, 48 hours and not an hour more, within which to fully obey and comply with the release order of the court in favor of all the 12 detained associates of Chief Sunday Igboho, or face contempt proceedings before a court of competent jurisdiction with full weight and recompense of court brought to bear against his insolence and disregard of court order. Take notice that we will not fail to exhaust all legal and social remedy available to the detainees in enforcing their rights in this matter, setting the tone against the SSS notorious disregard of due process and rule of law. Gentlemen of the press, it has become apparent that the SSS has developed